Hi guys, Happy New Year. Today is always an awesome day to sit around and talk with friends or family or even just yourself about what you want to work on for the year. So I've decided that I want to focus on how it's not always about being right. So I've put together some tips I'm going to work on for the year that are going to remind me that it's not always about being right. So the first thing that I always do, and I do this in a lot of situations, is I just take a breath. I stop, I take a minute, and that allows me to be present. My defenses go down, my guard goes down, and then I'm able to learn to respond instead of react to the situation. And that's always a better place to be. So the next thing I'm working on is being more open. There is so much to learn from others' opinions, and when we give up the need to be right all the time and become less judgmental, like I talked about in my last blog, we can communicate on a completely different level, and our ability to listen also skyrockets. And you know what? If I'm a little more open with my thinking, I might just realize that there is more than one truth out there. Yeah. Another thing is self-esteem. Well, we all remember in university from Freud learning about the egos. Those things are not modest. We have to learn to swallow our pride in this life, and when we're wrong, just take a breath. Go back and rethink about whatever conversation it is that you're in. It's a much more peaceful way to handle ourselves and to manage our life. Next is being way more objective. Why do I care about what is said to me or how it's said to me, or if I'm right? When we have to be right, often that means we're pushing our opinions and our ideas on others just to feed our own little need to be right. If we're more objective, we can have more comfortable conversations, like I was talking about in the last point. And when you have more conversations, that's a huge improvement with your relationships with people. And being right or wrong, really, it becomes beside the point. I'm also consciously deciding to try and do something that I know we all find very hard, and that is to forgive. It's one of the healthiest choices anybody can make, and I'm really going to try and make that this year. Often, when somebody hurts us, we want them to hurt back. How stupid is that? And where does that stand in the grand scheme of life? Who am I to say what's right and what's wrong anyways? If I work on that long road to forgiveness, I know that my wish to always be right is going to diminish. So this leads to kindness. My kids and I watch Ellen all the time, and we learn about what's more important, being right or being kind. Proving somebody wrong is not an act of kindness. You know how much I love hearts? Well, this heart right here that we all have, it naturally loves. It instinctively accepts so much more than we allow it to. So we have to just let this heart drive the kindness that's in there already and waiting to jump out at everybody. In my last blog, it was all about picking words and phrases to improve positive ways. And one that I'm really trying to work on when it comes to being right and wrong is saying I'm sorry. Just saying that allows the brain to have this shift in mindset. It's the frontal lobe that manages stress and anxieties, and I talked about that in my last blog. And just saying I'm sorry is huge. So all these things are going to help me be more aware. And when we're more aware, we can sometimes be more in touch with ourselves. If I can actually, even if it's in my own little world, be aware that I'm wrong, I don't have to tell anybody. That's a huge first step. It allows me to recognize the fact that, you know what? I already know. We already know that we're going to be wrong. Everybody's wrong all the time. So why do we hide from it? But feeling it in here and in here for yourself is one big step. So what do you think? What's the end result? Relationships improve, especially the ones that are the closest to us. We always want to improve on those. I don't like being wrong, but you know what's worse than being wrong? If I continue to be wrong and people know and nobody tells me, I don't want that either. So start your year off on the right foot. Get on the right tracks. You choose something that you want to improve upon. It's only another day, but it's the beginning of a whole new year. So go out there and make it a fascinating one. Happy New Year, guys.